Yeah, buddy. It is time. Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the duct tape dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is, let's see, the divisional round of the 2023, now 2024 NFL playoffs. Boy, we've got a show for you tonight. I am excited to be here, and I'm excited that you are here. Let me ask you to do us one favor before we get started, though. Please minimize that screen. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Be sure to hit that like button, the bell, all those things. I know it seems trivial, but it means a lot to us. We see it, and literally every single subscriber is like a big deal for me. Like, we're at 159 right now. Every once in a while, I see one drop off, and it's like a heartbreak for me. So if you guys can just subscribe and hit that like button, oh man, that does a ton for us. We appreciate every single one of you. We are so happy you're here. And hopefully you guys enjoy what we're putting out there, because we're having fun doing it. And when I say we, I mean myself and, of course, the co-hosts for the playoffs. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Agman and the Bully, Chef Bully. Do you mind if I call you the Bull?
I'm all right with the Bull. That'll work for me.
Yeah, the Bull. I mean, you are a bull, man. You are. Anyway, how are you, boys? How are we doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a fun week. Saw the boys. Birdie says hi, by the way.
Hey, Birdie. Yes, love it.
Yep. And I went 4-2 last week, so a little better than I've been doing, I would say.
Yes, sir. And you need it. You need it right now, because you are the caboose of us all. So you are in jeopardy of becoming the pink category next year. I'm already counting you in for next year, by the way. So whether you want to or not, you're coming with us. By the way, we got Dan Hall in the chat. We got Katie in the chat, Andrew's mom. Thank you guys for being here. Dan Hall is like my best military friend out there. The dude is, we had the Colonel that was supposed to be a picker for us, the Colonel Chris. Well, Dan Hall is going to be our colonel next year, because he's a lieutenant colonel out there doing big things in the military. So, Dan, whether you realize it or not, you're going to be a picker with us next year. I'm not sure how many we're going to have. I might have to put a cap on it, but you're going to be there. So, hey, I'm loving that you are here. Wally's in the chat as well. Brian Maxey joining us. What's up, guys? So happy you're all here. We've got some pretty cool trivia that's coming up later that hopefully you guys enjoy and can participate in. So stick around. Give us your guesses when we get there. And actually, the trivia guy, the guy who leads our trivia and really gives me all the, hey, here's some trivia ideas, is Andrew. Andrew, how's your week going, brother? How are you?
Not too bad. I'm doing good. We had kind of a weird week here because, like, if you heard last week's show, we were in sub-zero temperatures, negative, 40 wind chill. It was bad. It was cold. And I'm pretty sure that's moving around the country, and it's starting to move away from me. And I'm starting to get a little bit warmer. It was the teens today, so that's a heat wave.
Dude, it warmed up here, and I went out in a t-shirt like yesterday, and then today it's right back down to the teens as well. So it's coming back, dude.
It's getting a little warmer here. We'll see. It's Montana, so I'm not banking on it too much. But we had school canceled for 2 days in a row because of that. Holy cow. One, because the roads got so bad and it was really, really windy and cold, so they canceled school. And then the second one, we were all prepared to go back to school on Tuesday, and then we had a sprinkler line break, and we shut that down, so they had to cut the power to the high school, and we had 2 days off. So we had a 3-day school week, so that's fun. But I'm in a new semester, so I'm changing how I'm doing things, changing classes a little bit. So I'm kind of relearning some of my new students and stuff now, but it's fun. I'm doing good. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm in the busy season right now, so I've got some busy days coming up, but I'm glad that I made time and that you allowed me to make time to come back and do the show. So
hey, you guys are our designated playoff co-hosts. So I asked you just before the show if you would continue to do it throughout the playoffs. We've got this in at least 2 more weeks. So, and you said yes. So now you're both.
That's true. I am stuck.
It wasn't. Now I've said it on the air. So now everybody knows. So now if you don't show up, you're
in the ether of the internet.
Yeah.
Now. Yep.
Yeah. Forevermore. Bully, have you transitioned now to plowing? You're a landscaper by trade. He's a hardworking man. If you guys don't know it, hardest working one of all of us, I think. Have you transitioned to plowing now? Are you guys snowing up there?
Yeah, we've gotten out there twice. We had a storm last week, and then we got a little snow this week, and it was turning over to ice. So we got out there and scraped a few driveways just so it wouldn't freeze over, threw some salt down, easy peasy. Wasn't too bad.
Okay. Well, good deal. Good deal. My wife is in the chat as well. She's waving and saying, hey. Bully was online earlier, live on TikTok as always. I love to jump in there. He said hi to Mary. She loves it. Dan waving as well. By the way, I had a short week as well. I had a crazy week. So I had a heart procedure, believe it or not, on Wednesday. In a heart procedure. Well, they went through my wrist and stuck a scope and went into my heart and took a look around to see if everything was okay. So I've been out of work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we were off Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. So Andrew, you had a 3-day week. I had a 1-day week. So it wasn't too bad. I've been a little limited on, I can't for 3 days afterwards, I can't lift I can't lift, push, or pull anything over 5 pounds. So it's been pretty awesome to be pretty lazy around the house. Although I will admit, like, I could feel like where that thing went, this little scope or whatever they put through there. It hurt, like man. That. So anyway, but hey, good news is everything's clear. So good news on that front. Everything's clear, but yeah, I've had an excuse to do nothing for the last few days. But now that runs out after today.
Oh, so, you're already getting an eye roll in the chat.
Yeah. So. Yeah. There it is. Yep. I see it. My wife, of course. So anyway, she's been taking good care of me and I love the holy heck out of her. She knows that though. Anyway, boys, it's a football show. Shall we talk football? You guys ready to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with our on a roll segment. And as always, our on a roller is the bull, the man on top today, so to speak. I should, so to speak, that. I got to be careful. Anyway, so Bully, if you're ready, man, let's go ahead. Let's hit that, the honor roll from last week. Granted, we're about to start games again tomorrow, but this is last week's honor roll nominees. And of course, at the end of the show, we will tell you who won. So Bully, it's all yours, brother. Take it.
All right, starting off our honor roll, we got Dan Campbell leading the Lions to their first playoff win since the 90s. Lions went off for 334 yards, 3 for 3 in the red zone, pulling off a huge playoff win. So Dan Campbell, you and your Detroit Lions, you guys are on a freaking roll. I got next up Jordan Love, gritting out another win, going 16 for 21, 272 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 157.2 pass rating. Jordan Love, way to grit it out because, bud, you are on a roll. Next on my list, I got C.J. Stroud, 16 for 21, 274, 3 touchdowns with 157.2 passer rating. And did I mention that he's the offensive rookie of the year?
Golly.
Hey Stroud, you are on a roll, brother. And then following that up, Aaron Jones, big week. Little family issue with the loss and everything else. But you went out there, touched the ball 21 times rushing, had 3 touchdowns at 5.6 yards a clip. Aaron Jones, pal, looks like you were on a roll this week.
Dude, thank you. That is absolutely fabulous. 4 outstanding nominees out there. And dude, how incredible is it? Not only, I mean, look at these guys. Okay, Aaron Jones is probably the one that's like, okay, yeah, that's a normal one. But you got Dan Campbell, first playoff win, like you said, for the Lions in 32 years. Are you freaking kidding me? By the way, they did it at home as well because they won their division. Home play. I mean, bro. And then you had Jordan Love, who is not a rookie, but really, I mean, this is almost like his rookie season because this is the first time look, Aaron's gone, man. It's all yours. He goes out there, kind of goes off on his, so to speak, rookie year. Look at the stats, though, because him and C.J. Stroud are almost identical. Their difference is like 2 yards, I think. 272 yards for Love, 274 for C.J. Stroud. Both coming in at 157.2 on the passer rating. That's almost perfect.
That's nuts.
Yeah, the kid's a rookie, bro. He's a rookie. I think none of us picked him to win. Well, maybe some of us did. I don't know. We'll get there. But what he is doing is fabulous, is absolutely outstanding. And then, of course, like Aaron Jones, like I said, is kind of the normal one. Like, okay, he's been around for a bit. You know, he had a good game. But these other three are just, what? It was an incredible week. It was an incredible.
And the fact that we have our first coach as a nominee. We had a whole team before, and it was the Lions.
It was the Lions.
We have our first coach nominee, and it's the Lions head coach. What is going on this year?
Dude.
Are the Lions, are they for real? We'll talk about it later, but still, that's awesome. But looking at these, I have one question for both of you that's kind of off the cuff. If we were to put on an honorable mention, so a fifth member of the honor roll, who would it be?
Well, okay. Let me start because I actually had a different one in there and I switched it. And that was actually, I had two different ones. Josh Allen, I think, had a decent game, or maybe that was last week.
No, Allen looked good. He had that big 49-yard run, which I think is one of the longest runs by a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right about that?
Yeah, so I think
don't know if
Allen,
it's the longest, but it's up there.
And then I think I had Baker in there as well. Hey, Gil the Goat's in there. Hey, Bully, Gil the Goat. Hey, LFG, LFG from Gil. By the way, every single person in the comments, thank you so much. The comments are just as important as the likes and the subscriptions and all that stuff. So, yeah, keep it rolling. Drew Bledsoe for MVP. Heard it here first is what Gil says. Gil's always got the comments, man. Gil is the comedian of the chat. Honorable mention, Bill's ground crew team from Dan Hall, he says. Mary, my wife, honorable mention. Come on now, Taylor Swift. Why not? She's been the Cinderella of the NFL ever since her and Kelsey became the ticket. Bully, who's your honorable mention from this week?
I like Josh Allen. I thought he really toughed it out for Buffalo. Not a lot of people knew what to expect from Buffalo going to the playoffs, but he shows Buffalo, Josh Allen, playoff football, went in there, ran tough all game. I actually went to work the next day. I was with my boss. And the first thing he said was, how about that Buffalo Bills quarterback? I'm like, you're talking about Josh Allen. So that would be my honorable mention there.
Okay. And Andrew, you brought it up. Who's your honorable mention?
You know, I would say Josh Allen because, yeah, he played like crazy. But honestly, I think my honorable mention might be from a losing team, and that's actually Matthew Stafford. That man is so freaking tough.
He is.
He got thrown on the ground and got stepped on and then still kept playing, and it was a close game. I mean, Detroit won, but it could have been either way.
Yes.
And Matthew Stafford's he's tough.
Dude, that guy... Yeah, he's great.
At one point, it looked like he was knocked out, is what I noticed. Like,
yes.
And he just back up. It just, unbelievable.
It's like he did that when he was with the Lions as well. It's like, and I've seen 100 TikToks on it. It's like he gets up and he starts playing that his arm is hurt. The theory is that when he gets knocked out, his reaction is once he wakes up, he starts moving an arm, being like, oh, my arm, because he doesn't want to get taken out of the game. And sure enough, he went back in. Like I had gone to the bathroom and I get a text from Mary saying, Stafford's out, Wentz is in. And I'm like, Wentz? What the holy he's still alive? Anyway, but then by the time I get back and it wasn't a number 2, okay? It was a number 1. And so it was not a long trip to the bathroom. And by the time I came back, Stafford's already back out on the field. I mean, the guy is
he's
beast, an absolute beast. So I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, Stafford is.
Dan says in the comments, honorable mention, Pat Mahomes' helmet. getting
Jeez.
shattered.
Oh,
That was
Shattered
sweet.
because the interior
Right.
got cold. It froze up and shattered because that helmet's meant for more heat resistant, not cold like that.
Yeah,
So those gel pads froze up and it hit just right and shattered.
that was crazy. So that thing's that's probably, do they put those types of things in the Hall of Fame, or is there an NFL, like, I mean, where do they put things like that? You know, they
do put stuff like that in the hall. I know Donna Kelsey's like 50-50 jersey was in there for a little while.
yeah.
I
So
think
is that
Kirk
where that
Cousins
kind of
for the
stuff
Vikings
goes?
had something in there.
That
Yeah,
helmet's got to be destined for. I mean, I know every kickoff football from the Super Bowl is in there, and so that helmet probably went direct to
Oh, it
Yeah,
had to go to
they so too, yeah.
I'm sure their Vices or whoever makes that helmet probably needed to take a look at it first. But it's destined for somewhere that it's going to be on display. So, man, the comments are rolling in, and I absolutely love it. Okay, Gil the Goat. I hope the Ravens lose. Trent Dilfer can go to hell. Jeez, I love Gil. I absolutely love Gil, man. Gil is yes. So, hey, my wife is saying that that's what they said on the New Heights show.
They must have. I don't remember them saying that, even though I am an avid listener. You've heard me say that time and again, but I mean, it is their mom. So
by the way,
why wouldn't they say it?
Did you hear that? That's my wife. She's listening to the New Heights podcast. That's
awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Anything Pat Mahomes touches goes in the Hall of Fame, says Dan, and that's pretty true. Actually, the game that's coming up between the Chiefs and the Bills.
Round 3.
That is becoming, and we're going to get there. Let's wait. I'll hold on to that thought. Wally says I can't afford to lose another game. Yeah, dude, I tell you what, the standings, it is still anybody's game, and I love it. We're coming down to the end of the season. Bo does have a decent lead, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Bully is, like I said, you've resumed the caboose, but it ain't over yet. You can still make a comeback. It's going to be tough, but anyway. So yeah, man, alive. Lots of good stuff with that honor roll segment. Lots of good comments. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Okay, Gil says he has to leave, but tell Bully anytime he wants a 1v1 low hoop basketball, I'll take him in the paint. Nice. It's the old 7.5 foot rim. Come on now. That's
Gil. I've said it 100 times. You got to see Gil with home court advantage. It's just the best jelly you've ever seen. He does like a little club duel, Jabbar, like hook layup, and every time you could be on his back, like choking him, and he's gonna make the shot.
I love it. You know, I got to see Kareem play back in the day. Him and Magic. I got in person. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Gil, we love you, brother. Thanks for coming in and dropping your ever so comical comments that are always good. We appreciate it. So, we're starting to talk about the games to be, but before we get there, we've got to do some NFL trivia, and we've got a good crowd out there in the chat. So let's do it. Andrew, you ready for the first question? I think we're doing the not Super Bowl question. Is the first one.
Yes.
So if you're ready, brother, take it. Let's get to it.
Yes. Do we have our trivia music?
Yeah. Let me hit that. Is this it? No, that's not it. No, that's the dude. Oh crap. Which button is it? Is it this one? No, that's not it. If I hit the wrong one, I get copyrighted.
You need a big red button.
There we go.
There you go.
I should make them red.
All right. NFL trivia for the divisional round show of Duct Tape Dynasty. You need to, for the first trivia question, name all of the NFL teams that have not even made the Super Bowl. We have a lot of teams that have, but there's some that haven't even gotten there yet.
Yes, and I will.
If you need a hint right away, 2 of them have a chance to change that.
Yes, there's
But
one hint. There's
how many
one
have
hint.
not made the Super Bowl.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Who are they? Well, I won't give away the number that there is, but anyway, Bully, let's hear what you think. Who are the teams that have not made the Super Bowl? Not even made it.
The best I could do is I have Detroit and Houston.
Yep.
And I also have Jacksonville, and those are the three that I came up with.
Okay, that's a good list. I think that's pretty solid. I'm waiting for some comments to roll in. I think there might be some Googlers out there. Now, Andrew, I did not send you the answers. Do you have any guesses, or did you look it up? Did you cheat?
I had a guess, and I agree with Bully on those ones. And there's one more that I'm pretty sure has championships under their belt, but not Super Bowls, so it was before that was a thing. My next guess is they had a shot this year and lost it. And I think Cleveland is my other guess.
Yeah, and Dan is in the comments with the Browns as well. That is it. We've got them all. Here they come. It is the Lions, Texans, Jacksonville. So you got all of them, Bully, and the Browns. Lions, Texans, Jaguars, and the Browns. That's who
now
we
just
got.
Imagine this, though. Imagine this pipe dream. The two that haven't made it that are still in this list meet in the Super Bowl.
It'd be crazy. And you know
that would be nuts.
We were talking about it, I think, before the show, but the Lions are 2 games away from the Super Bowl. The Lions are 2 games away from the Super Bowl. What? That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So anyway, that's
wild.
Trivia question number 1. Trivia question number 2, when you are ready, kind sir.
Trivia question number 2, part 2. What teams have the most Super Bowl losses? We talked about the Super Bowl wins last week. What teams have the most Super Bowl losses?
Yes. Aha. And you notice it says teams, so it's plural. There's more than one that have the same amount of Super Bowl losses. And when I saw who these teams were, I was like, well, I got to put that on there. I got to put it on there. So Wally coming in with the Vikings. Ooh, that's tough, man. That's his own team. That's sacrilege. I can't believe you even made that guess. Bully, who do you think?
Well, I'm a Pats fan, but I have the Patriots and the Bills both with 3 losses is my guess.
Okay, that's solid. I like that guess. Andrew, you got a guess, or did you look it up?
I actually knew this one because we used to do Super Bowl trivia where I worked in college.
So
and
hold on to it then.
I have a face for radio. I was the one that would do the announcements.
Come on
and,
now.
Like my boss, every year, he was like, "You're doing it next year. You're doing this. You're awesome at it. You have the voice for it." And then when I left, he was like, "You suck." So,
Dan and I, we always used to get pinged when we were in the military together. We did a couple assignments together. We would always get to be selected to be the MCs of, Christmas parties and things like that. So yeah, we had the face for radio as well. But okay, we got a lot of good guesses out there. So like we said, Wally came in with the Vikings. Andrew, you said you know the answer, so I'm not going to let you answer right now. Although I will ask you a part to the question in just a second. My wife comes in with the Dolphins. That's not bad. Dan says Broncos. Okay, and Bills. Yeah, so there's an agreement with you, Bully. You said Pats, Bills, right? And Wally has an add-in to his comment of the Vikings that they have lost every one they've played in. Bills have 4 losses in a row. So that's a solid guess by Dan. That is a solid guess. Oh, Gil says, never mind. I'm back for another minute. Want a Lions-Bills Super Bowl. Okay.
It could happen.
Dude,
it could happen.
That would be sick. I mean, there are some great matchups out of who is left. So anyway, okay, my question to you, Andrew, since you know the answer, is how many losses are these teams that have the same amount of losses?
These losses are a total of 5. These teams have been to the Super Bowl and lost it 5 times. Now, does that mean that's all the times they've been to the Super Bowl? Not necessarily, but they've lost it 5 5 times.
Yes, that is true. And the teams that have lost it are the Broncos and the Patriots. That's it with 5, Bully. The Pats have lost it 5 times, but that means they've been there 11 times, bro. That is so many Super Bowl appearances.
They've been there 20% of the time.
Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. I mean, 5 losses, but you got as well, you're tied for the most Super Bowl wins. So not bad to be a Pats fan. Not bad to be a Pats fan. You know?
No, that's fair. And for Wally that said Vikings and then the Bills, it hurts my heart to admit it. Yes, the Vikings haven't won a Super Bowl. They've been there 4 times. I still think the Bills is worse because it's 4 in a row.
Oh my God,
that was so
painful.
It's a good thing we're not talking percentages of Super Bowl losses, because then both of those teams would have won with 100%.
100%, yeah. Yeah, the Bills, man. I remember all the jokes of, hey, we're going to change their area code to 044, you know, for the Bills. Because, oh my gosh, I remember watching that. I was pretty young, but old Jim Kelly, he would just get there back to back to back to back and couldn't get it done.
Frank Reich did it once.
Yeah, that's true. So
and the Cowboys said, nah, 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Some great guesses out there. Great guesses. So, Gil, I see Gil comments. I've always got to check those. Both fan bases deserve it.
You're right, Gil. Both fan bases deserve a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Where's my Minnesota Super Bowl? We were
this
so
time I'm leaving for real.
Minnesota.
I'll leave you all. Oh, here we go. Here's from Gil. This time I'm leaving you for real. I'll leave you all with these words of wisdom. If your boat isn't sailing west, make sure it's sailing east. Otherwise, you'll never find your way home. Well, okay. Words to live by. Deep thoughts by Gil the Goat.
That should be a segment.
Yeah, no kidding. Gil, thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. We appreciate, like I said, every single one of you guys that are in the comments. You guys are fantastic. So I'm going to save that third question, Andrew.
Fair enough.
For next week. And let me just fade our music away as well. Hopefully we don't get that. By the way, it's all copyright free music, so don't sue me, YouTube, or cut me out or whatever you do. It's all copyright free. Anyway, so let's get to how we did last week, ladies and gentlemen. Fading it over. There's the results. There were 6 games. Bully won 4 of them. He won the week. Now the scroll isn't going by like it usually is. That will come up next. But I do want to talk about the games, and then we'll get into the standings. But yeah, Bully, outright win, 4-2. So good job, brother. Good week. Good week. You're the only one above 500. I'll say that. And like I said, we'll get the results scrolling by here in a second. Wally didn't hear any music. I had it turned down quite a bit because when I clip those, I like to put some other music on top. So sorry you didn't hear the music. It was there. It was pretty low though. I'm kind of torn between, do I want to keep putting that music on there? Because then I can't.
It's good for the live show, but for the clips afterwards, I see where it's.
Yeah, I like to, because I like, when you put it back on YouTube, you can put copyrighted music on there because it gives credit and all that. You get whatever. Boring stuff, whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, first game of the week, Cleveland, Houston. And, surprisingly, 3 of us picked Houston, and we should have seen it coming because which check mark was on there? It was Bo's.
The orange one.
Yeah, the orange check mark, as always. Bo's check mark was on there. Cole went with him, and so did Bully. And you guys were right. CJ Stroud coming in with the win, man. What a game. And what was the score of that game, guys?
It was like 42-14 or something. I don't remember. It was
45-14. It was a solid win by the Texans. There were no questions.
Oh, yeah.
So what'd you guys think of that game? Any comments? No?
Well, I wasn't surprised with the outcome. I picked Houston going in. I said going in. I like what Ryans is doing with the team. And this CJ Stroud, big, strong, tough quarterback. He's going to be in those talks if he continues to play the way he's playing. So I'm very impressed with the Houston win, but not completely surprised by it. I did think that was going to happen going in.
Yeah, you picked him. Andrew, I went with the Browns because of the fact that they've had Joe Flacco in there, and of course we had him as a star or a honor roll nominee a couple weeks in a row. He was lighting it up, and I just figured, okay, the experience of Joe Flacco and the Cinderella story that is. I guess I was wrong though, because the Cinderella story of C.J. Stroud obviously took over on that. What do you think of that game? Any comments on it?
Yeah, I have a very bad tendency I've noticed where I pick something and then I submit my picks, the show happens, and then I get a gut feeling that I'm wrong. This was one of those. I had a gut feeling that I was wrong. What I was most surprised about was how big the win was for Houston. I did not expect a 35-point win.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was good job by them. I mean, C.J. Stroud obviously earned an honor roll nominee. He's well deserving. So Kansas City and the broken helmet versus Miami. We all kind of saw that coming. The couple of Thurmanlins, that's their last name, went with Miami. That's Dave and Wally, and they both took an L on that. Any comments, Bully, on the Kansas City-Miami game besides the fact that it was freaking cold?
Well, can we say that the road to the AFC still runs through Kansas City? Is that a safe statement, even at this point in the playoffs?
It is. I mean, this week they go to New York, but through Kansas City, the team, I think, is definitely, that's a safe statement. It's been that way for a while, and I think it continues, even with the drop balls. That's the one thing they've got to get. I don't get it. They're dropping passes left and right, but I think Kansas City is still the road, as you say, to be run through. So we'll see what happens this week. I'm pulling for the Bills. We'll see if I picked them or not. But anyway, Andrew, any comments reference the Frozen Bowl number 2?
I agree with Bully. I think it is the road to go through. I think it's not as straight of a road as people have said, because obviously they have to go through Buffalo and they have to get out of Orchard Park and they have to go back. I think right now also Baltimore's a road you kind of got to go through. Ooh. So I think the AFC is kind of a fork. There's 3 different roads to the Super Bowl. One's through Arrowhead, one's through Orchard Park, and one's through Baltimore. I know I said the stadium name and then
you're good
on the other one, but
we
whatever.
We get it.
But I think it's starting to fan out a little bit more. It was Kansas City like crazy the last few years. I think because Kansas City's receiving core needs a little work, I don't think it's bad. It just needs some tuning and some touch-ups. I think that they're opening the door again for other teams to step back up.
Yeah. I mean, it is not. Yeah, there's definitely a chance there. And I would say this year, we've had the Bills and the Chiefs matchup, the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes matchup a few times now. I think this is probably Buffalo's best chance. And we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Buffalo beats up on Pittsburgh. I don't think anything really to report there. We all picked Buffalo, and it was 31-17. Aside from the Snow Bowl and people still having to dig their seats out.
I feel for that Pittsburgh family where there's the dad and the kids, and the dad's trudging through hip-height snow. And you could tell the kids were like that Christmas Story kid where he's just bundled in coats. But he's like, we're getting to our seats.
Yeah.
We're going to sit here. Well, they're like, we're cold.
Probably paid enough for them. I mean, geez. But,
oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the game that was unbelievable, though, and we talked about it. Mary actually made a comment, and it's referenced us last week talking about Green Bay and Dallas, and she said, you guys said the statement "crap down their leg" a lot on the show.
We essentially called it, even though we didn't call it at all.
Yeah, none of us picked it. We all picked Dallas still, but boy, did we say it on the show. This is a classic for Dallas to crap down their leg, and boy,
did they. Good God.
Yeah. So what do you think there, Bully? A 48-32 win by the Green Bay Packers in Dallas. Any comments reference that game and or Jerry Jones's decision to still stick with Mike McCarthy and say statements such as, we have Super Bowl caliber coaches on this team?
Well, I understand that statement with McCarthy winning a Super Bowl with Green Bay, but I don't know if they have a Super Bowl capable franchise right now, to tell you the truth. It's every freaking year they bring in one of the most talented offenses in football, all kinds of names on the defense. And I know we all picked them, but we all kind of had that feeling. Is this going to be another situation of Dak and the Cowboys crapping down their leg?
Yeah. Dan has the perfect comment. The playoffs are literally kryptonite for the Cowboys. That is exactly it. I mean, that is
the Cowboys
America's
don't have a
team.
Superman.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, they're supposed to be Superman. They're America's team, and they do it every year. The last 3 years, they've won 12 games each year, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I heard. And yeah, they just get to the playoffs and just can't do a darn thing. I really thought that was going to be the end of Mike McCarthy, but Jerry Jones sticks with him. And as I've said to my Cowboys faithful fan friend who we did have on the show, our only in-studio guest of the year, Jerry Jones is the biggest problem that franchise has. I mean, he needs to get out of the way. I'm sorry. I think Mike McCarthy probably needs to go. Whatever. But Andrew, what do you think about that game? We all, like Bully said, we all kind of called it. We said crap down your leg about 1,000 times. Here we go saying it again.
We did.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think they tried to make a comeback. It was a closer game based on the final score that you said than I remember it being. Because I remember seeing it was like Green Bay almost to their final score and Dallas at like 14 or something.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. I can't say I'm surprised, but I feel so like this is an abusive relationship, Dallas. We need to have something. Stop pulling the rug out from underneath us. Come on.
Dallas abuses their fans every year. I mean, how many TikToks? This
is coming from a Vikings fan.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, I know you're not on TikTok. You know, it's banned out there in Montana. Plus, you're not a TikToker, but Bully's an avid TikToker. That's where I found it. How many videos of Dallas fans did you watch punching TVs, Bully?
It's, you know what? It's like you look forward to that after Christmas. Is Dallas in the playoffs and the fans just erupting. I want to say I feel bad about the whole thing, but it's almost at the point where it really, for everyone else, I can't say it for the fans, this is really getting comical with Dallas in the playoffs.
Dude, you know what it is? You know what Dallas is? We have lost the Black Friday, fights at the stores, those videos. We've lost those. So now Dallas losing in the first round of the playoffs and seeing the fans' reaction, that is the new Black Friday fights of the internet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway,
it's fun seeing when they open the doors and the fans just sprint into AT&T Stadium.
Yeah,
it's like you're sprinting in there for utter disappointment
every year, man. Now you posted a comment you did give an answer. Okay, how many Cowboys does it take to screw in a light bulb? Go ahead, give the answer out loud, even though it's in the comments.
None. They just sit there and remember how good the old one was.
Jeez, yeah, that's about right. Anyway, Wally's got to get out of here. Great show. We'll watch the reruns. I have to take Katie to hockey. Apparently, your mom's playing hockey now, Andrew. So,
apparently,
yeah, awesome. Go get him, Katie. Anyway, so Detroit, only a couple of us picked Detroit to win against the Rams. We already kind of talked about that game with the Stafford and how incredibly tough that kid is, but one of the two that picked it was that man right there. Bully, you went with Detroit. You called it, brother. What'd you think of that game? Let's see. What was the score? 24-23. That one was close.
Yeah.
That I grinded out, biting my nails the whole game. And I'm rooting for Detroit this place. I know I've said a few things about Campbell, but I'll tell you, those Detroit fans, they've been pushing, and they've really had some bad years. We were talking about Stafford earlier. They went 0-16, then drafted Stafford the next year, who turned it around. Now Dan Campbell's there. And Jared Goff is playing like the quarterback he was drafted to play as. He's getting a lot of production out of these Detroit Lions. One of our honor roll candidates, and just nice to see them tough out a win, 24-23. And hey, to the Detroit fan base, I'm here for you guys. I'm rooting for it. Let's see what happens.
Heck yeah, man. I'm all for it as well. I would love to see Detroit in the championship. That would be incredible, man, to see them in the Super Bowl. Oh, just how cool would that be, Anyway, Andrew, any thoughts on the Detroit LA Rams game?
We talked about it. It was super close. That one, that's the playoff football I want. I want nail biters, just tough games. And I mean, as a Vikings fan, obviously I don't really want Detroit to get a title because that's one more thing they have on us that we don't have.
Yep.
But I do want Detroit to do well because they've earned it. And I've had no animosity against Detroit. I really don't even have that much against the Bears. It's just the Packers I really can't stand. And I think all of the NFC North fans can agree with that aren't Packers fans. But I think they make a run. I don't think they get there because we talked about that last week, but I think they make a damn good run this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. I've got them winning this week, I believe. Anyway, one more game to talk about. Let's keep going here, and I got to speed it up a little bit. Tampa Bay, obviously winning over Philadelphia. Philadelphia's slide continued. They looked, honestly, like garbage. They put up 9 points to the Tampa Bay's 32. I was smart enough to pick Tampa Bay on that one, and I really should have picked Green Bay as well. Any thoughts on that game? I mean, it's
you know how I said I have instant regret? That was one of them.
Yeah.
Because it was out in the internet. It was instant regret. And this, I don't know if it's confirmed, but it's leaning that way. This was the last game of Jason Kelsey's career.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
and that's very, very unfortunate that it's the way that happened.
Yeah.
Because he is an awesome player. He's an awesome guy. Like, I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but
yeah, well, he'll probably be there. I mean, he probably will, honestly. Bully, any thoughts on that game?
Well, going with the winning team, and this game worried me a little bit with the way Philly was sliding. But Baker Mayfield, another guy in a resurgence. I mean, is he as competitive as they get? They were showing pictures on the internet of him in Carolina practicing scout team defense in a 3-point stance, and now he's the starting quarterback after Brady comes into Tampa Bay with all the pressure and gets a win in the first round of the playoffs. Not only gets them in the playoffs, goes out and grabs a win off a team like Philadelphia. So Baker Mayfield, and I've been saying this a lot, that kid's as tough and as gritty as they come in this league's NFL.
Can't agree more, man. I love seeing it. Baker is a huge, huge proponent of the military. He's a big supporter of them. And, of course, with my background, I appreciate the heck out of that. So I loved seeing him do well. I hope he continues to do well. Anyway, let's get to our standings. Let's blaze through these, and then we'll get to this week's games, which there's only 4 of them, but there's some exciting matchups out there. So anyway, all right. The standings are Bully 4-2, then a bunch of us at 3-3. Dave went 2-4. Andrew, you went 2-4, and then Wally coming in at 1-5. That's tough. And so that ends up putting us for the overall 2023 standings. Bo, 176-102. Cole, 3 games back, 173-105. Wally tied with Dave at 170-108. And then Andrew, you're coming in there still saying solid above the caboose, which is Bully and I. You're 166-112. I'm 165-113. Bully a few back there, 159-119, in real jeopardy of getting that crap trophy. And the lean 171-107. So it ain't over yet, though. It ain't over yet, Bully.
No, it's not.
But yeah, so that's where our standings are. But heck, let's get to the picture. All right, let's do that. Here we go. This week's games, there's 4 of them. Let's start with Baltimore and the Texans. What do we think? We all went with Baltimore. Is it as cut and dry as we think?
No.
Is this going to be? I think this could be a good game. This could be a good game. I mean, we, of course, Lamar's our boy. We pull for him, and I think they've got it. I think they'll get it done, but watch out, man. That CJ Stroud performance was impressive. Any comments from you boys on the Ravens-Texans game?
This is the game for me to look out for this week. I think this is going to be a great game because CJ Stroud, we said it earlier, he's on our honor roll segment, but talk about a guy that can get on a roll with momentum during the game. So if Baltimore is going to really have to show up on the defensive side of the football, and then Lamar Jackson is good a quarterback. He was the best quarterback in the league this year, correct? Winning the MVP. Am I right about that?
Yeah, is it confirmed yet? He should.
They haven't had honors yet, but I think he's front runner.
Yeah.
So on top, and what worries me most about this whole thing is, it's the playoffs, and we haven't seen Baltimore navigate their way out of the AFC yet and get to a Super Bowl. So I think this is a big test to see where Baltimore's at, and don't count Houston out.
Yeah, the last time they were there was, I think, versus the 49ers. And that was the Joe Flacco days. Yeah. So I think Flacco was the MVP of that Super Bowl, wasn't he?
He was.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about the Bills game yet. So let me just go over to the other side. San Francisco, Green Bay. Again, we all went, do you have anything on that Baltimore Texans game, Andrew?
I think Bully said it just perfectly on that one.
Okay.
I think this it's definitely, I think, our closest gotcha game of what we have left.
Fair enough. So let's go to you first then on the San Francisco Green Bay game. What do you think? We all went with San Francisco. Is it as cut and dry as we think?
I don't think any of these are. As much as it all looks that way, and we've had games in the past where it was, like Carolina versus anybody, I think this is a lot closer than we thought, because Jordan Love, honor roll nominee, the Packers have been looking great. I hate to say it, but they've been doing great. And hey, it's a playoff rematch of a lot of history here. San Francisco versus Green Bay. This has happened a lot.
Dude.
And they had Rodgers at the time, but I think Green Bay always manages to throw it away at the last second somehow.
Yeah.
And I think San Francisco is still so stacked. And the fact that they have a quarterback still, I think they pull this one out. Because it's in Levi Stadium in San Francisco, or Santa Clara technically, but it's in California. They're at home. They've been prepping for this for 2-3 weeks now. They're ready for this.
I mean,
I think San Francisco walks away with this.
Everything says they should win. Definitely.
Yes.
I'm not as afraid for this game and my pick as I am for that Ravens game, because the CJ Stroud factor is just unknown, But Bully, what do you think? San Francisco, Green Bay, anything we need to look out for? What's your comments on this one?
Well, Andrew touched on it great. This is one of my favorite playoff matchups, Green Bay and San Fran. And this dates back to before the 90s, but you remember Steve Young and Brett Favre going back and forth, guys getting cramps and hamstrings out in San Francisco. So it just brings a little nostalgia to the game for me. And, I like San Fran, like you said. They are so stacked. But let's see what Green Bay brings to the table. It's going to be a fun watch. It's going to be a tough competitive game, I think, either way.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think, as long as I don't want to say it. As long as San Francisco doesn't get bit by the injury monster, sorry, it happened, they'll be okay. So anyway, and actually, let me go to our next game, but I'm going to start with a comment, and it's from the Colonel in the comments, which is Dan Hall. He says, Ravens, Chiefs, Niners, Lions, guaranteed, lock it in. And one of the reasons he says is because Mayfield will choke hard this weekend. So the next game, the Detroit game. We've already been talking about how much we kind of want to all see Detroit win, even you, Andrew, I think. But Detroit, Tampa Bay. Now, this one we did split on. Two of us went with Tampa Bay. One of those was Wally. One of those was Cole. The rest of us went with the Lions. Andrew, let's start with you. What do you think?
The Lions are at home, and after doing what they did to their saving grace for the last however many years last week, they're so amped up. They're not going to let Tampa Bay come in there and try and tarnish it.
Yeah. I mean, that team is on a roll, right, Bully? I mean, yeah. Okay, what do you think, Bully? What's going on with that game? Anything we need to look out for? I mean, Mayfield, granted, Dan says Mayfield's going to choke. Mayfield's got weapons, though, boys. He's got weapons out there, and he is on a mission. So, Bully, what do we need to look out for on that game?
So like you're saying, if Detroit puts points on the board, and I did pick Detroit, if Detroit puts points on the board, they should get out of there with a W. And that's because, Tampa's going to score 2, 3, 4 times. But that offense in Detroit rolling right now, and I think that's a tight game. So does Mayfield choke down the stretch? Does he choke at all? Or does he just, our term, crap down his leg, and Tampa's just not even involved in the game?
I think the determining factor is Aiden Hutchinson. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, how much pressure he gets on Mayfield. Now, granted, Mayfield can scramble and run pretty well. Of the quarterbacks that are left in it, aside from Lamar, I'd say Mayfield's probably got the best wheels. It's debatable. But anyway, yeah, I think the key is going to be Aiden Hutchinson and how much he's in that backfield. And that boy this season has been a force to be reckoned with. So I expect him to be back there giving Baker trouble. It's just a matter of how well he handles it. If there's going to be a close game, this is going to be the one. If there's going to be a gotcha game, I would say this might be the one, boys. Granted, not technically our definition of a gotcha game, but you get it. This one, because the Lions, although they did get that win, that score was 24-23. That was a 1-point win. So it was not a convincing victory like the rest of them. And that Tampa Bay team, and like we said earlier, Baker is on a mission. Dan's calling the choke, but I don't know, boys. That one could go either way. That's what I'm saying on that one. So the last one, the matchup of all matchups, the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce Bowl, whatever you want to call it. This is, the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is the new Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Not to say that they're comparable with either of those quarterbacks, but both those quarterbacks are gone. And what we had with them and the matchups, those classic fight it outs is what we're getting with these two teams and those two quarterbacks. Am I wrong, Bully?
No, you're completely right. Mahomes is as good as you've seen. And another name that pops into my head is like the John Elways and the Montanas, the guys with multiple Super Bowls that Mahomes has. But KC at Buffalo, Bills Mafia, ready to rock and roll. And here's the unpopular thought is I am prepared to watch Kansas City go in there, step on the Bills' throat, and disappoint all those Buffalo Bills fans. Hey, I like the Bills, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Detroit-Buffalo Super Bowl, but, KC comes in with a chip on their shoulder. Mahomes
and their helmets.
Mahomes. They're going to spread the ball out. Kelsey's going to have a big day. Cold weather. That defense is playing well. And I get KC as my lock of the week as tough as Buffalo is.
Nice call. What do you think, Andrew?
This is kind of like we did where he picked the Rams, or he picked the Lions last week. I picked the Rams. I'm the opposite side of the coin. Like I said last week, I texted you my picks. I put a little analytics on it this time, and I'm going to read what I sent you this time.
You know what? Well, I can't do it because it's on the phone.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park. Both teams have played in the cold. That's not an advantage. Take that out of there. One's a little bit more snowy. That doesn't matter. Take that out. The Chiefs have beat the Bills twice in the playoffs. This is round 3, but both rounds 1 and 2 were in Arrowhead. Granted, they didn't have the power of Taylor Swift, but at that time, but still, Josh Allen playing lights out right now. The Bills are going to get the W in this playoff rivalry because I think they are rolling. They're boiling. They're going to do good. And Buffalo, I think they're just so mad at KC because they've ended their season so many times. Buffalo is going to get their revenge this time. They changed the freaking overtime rules in playoffs because of these two.
Yeah, that's true.
Buffalo is going to get its revenge this time. They are going to go in there. It's going to be a dogfight, if there is any. Bills Mafia is going to be insane. Hell, they lit tables on fire and then jumped through them last week.
That fan base is insane.
And they are going to get their revenge. It's going to be punches back and forth, but I think Buffalo's going to walk out on the legs of Josh Allen and win that damn game.
Okay, nice call, man. I like it. I honestly hope the Bills win. I picked the Chiefs, but this one, I mean, this is as close to a coin flip as we have this week, in my opinion. This could go either way. I would love to see it go the Bills' way. I'm just going with history, which is Kansas City. Granted, Kansas City has had the home field advantage the last couple times. Now it's in Buffalo. We shall see. That game and the Detroit game are on Sunday. The two number one games, which is Baltimore and San Francisco, those games are tomorrow. So we got football 2 days in a row. That's exciting. I like it. Anyway, any more comments on those before we get to our last thing of the show, which is our on a roll winner? Any last comments on the games to be or anything NFL related or otherwise? What the heck? I don't care. There's no rules here.
No, I think we're ready to wrap it up.
You good, yeah. Andrew?
I love playoff football. This is going to be fun. If all of these games are just knockdown, drag out dogfights, God, this is going to be a good weekend of football.
Yeah, I hope we get it. I hope we get it. I tell you. And Dan comes in with one last comment, which is a good one. Chiefs have put up 80 points, 80 against the Bills the last two beatdowns. Expect the dominance to continue. That's what Dan says. So Dan, by the way, is on record. Our colonel in the comments is on record. Ravens, Chiefs, Niners, Lions. Guaranteed lock it in. I think that's the teams I picked as well. So we shall see.
He pulled a Namath. He pulled a Namath and guaranteed it. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. So with that, one last thing to do, and that is to tell the folks who are on a roll winner is from the poll, which, by the way, I didn't say it earlier. Our pollster is, and unfortunately, I'm looking at it now, and I don't have your little tag on the graphic, which
That's all right.
I should. Our pollster is Andrew. Andrew is our pollster. He runs an affiliate, if you will, an affiliate of the Duct Tape Dynasty family on Instagram. His is DTD, Duct Tape Dynasty. So it's DTD.Big Sky Country, because he's in Montana, Big Sky Country. So anyway, if you guys want to check out polls and actually some really good all around Instagram stuff, check his account out, DTD.BigSkyCountry. And I'll fix the graphic and get your little thing up there. I've got it on the other ones, but it looks like on the winner, which I can see you can't. I don't have it. So sorry about that, but yeah,
that's all
anyway,
right.
I put him up as well, but Andrew is our official pollster. So with that, Bully, I'm going to give it back to you. Let us know who won this week.
All right, guys. So big week with honor roll, the rookie, CJ Stroud. With that big week, I told you earlier, 274 yards with 3 touchdowns, high passer rating at 157.2. He's looking like the front runner of Rookie of the Year. He might upset the Ravens this week, even though we're being told it's locked in. CJ Stroud, you are our honor roll player of the week. Keep it up, bud. It's been a pleasure to watch you this season.
Dude, it has been absolutely outstanding. Great call on that, Bully. Yes, CJ Stroud has won it again. I think he's been a winner. I think
that or Nico Collins was, but he's been a nominee before.
He's definitely been in there before. Yeah, may not have been a winner, but definitely deserving of Rookie of the Year, which, like you said, Bully, it looks like he's going to get. With that, folks, that is the show. Any last comments from our two designated playoff co-hosts before we get the heck out of here? You guys good?
I'm ready for good games. That's all I got to tell you.
Hey, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of you. You guys are absolutely fabulous. especially, I mean, dude, well, I can't say it enough. Look, thank you to both of you. You guys are fantastic. I hope we can continue this throughout the playoffs. Only a couple more weeks left. And to everybody in the comments, we appreciate the holy heck out of you. Like I said, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, minimize that screen, hit that subscribe button, the like button. All those things help us tremendously. By the way, Bully out there on TikTok, we never pump your account. Chef Bully 121. This guy kills it on TikTok. Go check him out. He's fabulous. I love it when you go live. Anyway, boys, let's get the heck out of here. Let's go watch some football. Have a weekend. We love everybody out there. You guys are the absolute best. We'll see you next time.
See ya.